Hello and welcome to another Blockhouse Esports stream. Continuing with our recent theme, I'm going to be playing some support in the game League of Legends and talking about the best ways to maximize your efficiency on the role. Today's stream title is Knowing Your Win Condition, and we're going to talk a little bit about knowing how to win as a support. So we will begin talking about that once we get into game. For now, it looks like we're gonna have our Blitzcrank banned against me. That's okay, I can play something else. Not sure why Set's in the support category, but he is. Okay, so I would normally play Rakan, just as a reflex pick here, just my comfort pick, but Thresh is super good against Rakan, so I'm gonna steer clear of that this game, I think. Another thing, if this is your first time to the stream, I only pick from my top 8 or so favorites that I have favorited on the list here. It seems like 3 of them are banned. One of them is a really bad pick against this. So we might be kind of narrowed down to what we pick this game. I have a rough team to play support against too. Maybe Pyke would be good here. He does well against hook champions. Yeah, we're gonna play some Pyke. I feel like I always start streams playing Pyke for whatever reason. My first game of the day is always Pyke with you guys. So this account right now is, I did my series from last time and I was successful, so this account is high plat 2 right now, looking to close in on diamond here in the next few weeks. So then I have another account there. Okay, so Jackson Jarvan did end up trading. So I'm not certain how I feel about this game. They have a lot of champions that I really hate playing against. 2 of those would be Malzahar and Malphite. Just 2 really hard champions to find win conditions against. Alright, so we're loading in here. My initial thoughts on the lane is that we should be able to win this lane at level 6. Until then, I don't really want to take a lot of fights unless they miss position. So, let's talk a little bit about the stream title today. The stream title is Knowing Your Win Condition. Win condition is a word that gets thrown around a lot in competitive play in this game and most esports. It typically means something to the effect of how do you close out the game? How do you finish the game? How do you ensure victory for your team? It's a pretty simple term, but what a lot of people don't understand is how to utilize that in solo queue. It's pretty easy in 5v5 play to understand what the problem is if you need to focus the one fed member of the enemy team or something like that. But in solo queue, it's a little different. So as a support in solo queue, I like to it's important to identify who is ahead on your team and support them, even if that sometimes means leaving your AD carry to fend for themselves for a little while. That's okay. It is actually more important for you to help that 22 kill mid laner or that 15 kill jungler secure victories around the map. Even if that does mean leaving your AD carry for an extended amount of time, that's okay as long as you get the end result you want. So this game, I'm going to help you to identify. This is just an interesting. Okay. Not a lot to say about that, but that is going to really help us. So maybe my win condition is this Vayne at this point, right? She's 2-0 at 2 minutes. That is an extremely scary Vayne to go against. Another thing, though, is we still have to respect that Lucian, right? He is known for his lane dominance as a character, and Vayne is not. So, still got to respect that, even though we made a nice play there. So again, if you've watched me play Pyke before, I am not really afraid to go in and shoot out a hook. On a lot of champions like Thresh, I talk about frequently how you need to save your hook. On Pyke, it's a little bit different because you have that E that also is really effective, and you can kind of get out of there really easily with your W if you mess up. I'm going to get early boots just for that E movement speed. We're going to head back to lane, see what we can do. So if I was the jungler at this point, I would identify that our bot lane has no summoner spells. He's bot side right now, and that our AD carry has a lot more damage on her than the enemy AD carry, and I would gank. And it looks like he's going to try to do that. So that is great, just like we talked about. And I'm just going to actually go for it right now. I'm just going to ensure that kill. I know he has no flash, no dash. He's a sitting duck pretty much. So that is something I am more than happy to waste my flash on. Just going to extend this Vayne's lead all game. She's 3-0 at 4 minutes. So if I was Jarvan at this point, last week I was talking to a jungle player that I have, and we were talking about extending our lead in jungle as well. And the way to do that is to only focus the lanes that are ahead, right? It's sometimes helpful to gank the ones that are behind for that behind person, but it really doesn't swing the game that much because they're still behind, right? So if I was Jarvan, I would just be sitting bot lane, even though his duo is top lane. I'm just going to E out of this. A lot of times when you get hooked like that and you E out, you can actually get the stun on the back end and then hook them back under turret. I messed it up a little bit there, but that's okay. On Pyke, make sure you're utilizing that passive and just going in and out of vision every once in a while to get that health back. So I'm going to go drop a ward on Dragon. And I'm just gonna pink ward our tri-bush. So they definitely have sums back now. But I have my ignite, so I can pretty much cancel out their heal if it's done right. Just gonna go on him. W out, right? 4-0. So yeah, you can really see how Pyke can kind of run away with a lane. And I'm just gonna help her push in here because it is time to crash this wave under tower now that they are 1v2. Nice job. My duo picked up some good kills. At this point in the game, oh, never mind, they killed their jungle too. If they just got that top lane kill, now is the time the support needs to go Ward Dragon, right? Because they know our jungle is top lane, and their jungle could go solo that dragon if he was alive. So now is a great time to go ward that if you need to in most scenarios. Just gonna get that hook in for poke. I didn't want to full engage just because I would be pretty close to the turret with my E range in order to get that stun. So just gonna go on the Thresh again. That was a good play by him. See if I get the heal here. So that's what you want to do on Thresh at this point. That's the only way really back into this, right? I'll save my E, maybe stun McCain. Good play by them. Good play by them. If I would have saved my E just a second longer, I might have been able to stun that Kayn on the back end and live there, but I was a little too quick on it. Good play. Should be able to just fade away Q him here. Yeah, good job. So next thing I want to get now that I have a little bit more damage is a Boots of Mobility, so I can help out our mid laner. I haven't roamed at all this game because we are stomping lane. I know I talked about a lot about roaming and how that can lead you to victory last week, but when your win condition is in your lane, the 4-1 Vayne at 8 minutes, that's where you want to stick at, right? If Azir was 4-0, I'd be helping him get ahead. I'd be hovering around mid lane more, but excuse me. In this scenario, I am helping my Vayne. So both of my summoners are back up. I'm going to let my lane opponent know that. And let her know that I'm willing to fight still. I'm almost to my ult too. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till all. I think we'll still beat them. Obviously, you've seen that we've been able to beat them. But at this point, we're pretty close. Why force a fight before half a wave, right? I can wait that extra half a wave. I don't need to be greedy. We've already got the lead. It's not like we're trying to claw back into this game, and every second counts. Both missed each other. It's an okay trade. Remember, we have lifesteal. Oh, he does too, actually. He's going the old build. I'm just going to W in, see what we can do. I'm going to die for it, but that was decent. We should be able to get a few plates off that too. The alternative to that play is not recasting my ult there and securing that second kill. We probably... Then I don't die for sure, and we might get more plates off of it, but we'll see how they do without me. They should be fine. I mean, Pyke doesn't do a lot of turret damage, right? So they might still just be able to get them all. Yep, cool. Cool, we take that. I have my boots of mobility, and it looked like Azir just picked up an easy kill. So again, I'm going to prioritize helping our Vayne still, but at this point in the game I can think about helping out my other lanes who are ahead. I'm not going to touch top lane at all just because I don't want to deal with Malphite pretty much ever. So that was a really good hook. I'm gonna W just so he doesn't ult me right away. There we go. Thank you. There we go. Oh, I was reading my Discord. I didn't even notice this Kayn came in. Yeah, so I knew that Kayn lost vision of me as soon as his ult stopped. So I just decided to go a way he wouldn't expect. Those are just small little mechanics that can get you out of troubling situations like that. So I go Youmuu's first on Pyke, simply for the movement speed. I know the Umbral is super popular right now on supports, and I am not lying, I think it's good too. But I just really prioritize that movement speed, getting around the map better, being able to use the Youmuu's before my Q or after my E to really extend my range there. So I probably should have ran bot here and saved this plate. But I kind of saw that fight starting to break out. I wanted to see what could happen there. I'm just going to one tap him, get that slow. Yeah, if you just tap Pyke Q, it lands a slow, and it's a pretty good slow if you're trying not to use that whole channel and slow yourself down. I'm just gonna see what we can do. So we're blade to blade somehow. I guess he picked up a few kills, huh? So that's what I like about Pyke. You can actually stun on the back end of that as well. Whoa. That was kind of weird. I don't really know what happened. We'll have to watch that back. I guess he flashed it. It's a good play by Kayn. Okay, so this game, even though we were really ahead, kind of broke open for the enemy team. My win condition right now has actually shifted to Jarvan. So Vayne is ahead, she's going to be able to take care of herself, but my win condition now is helping out this Jarvan get ahead. So you're actually going to watch me make meta shot calls for him, like this dragon, even though Vayne already started it, like that's a really good call. And just walking around the map with Jarvan to ensure that he continues getting fed. Because he's, what, 6-0? Yeah. So the more I can help him out right now, the better off we're going to be. And it looks like top is going to be our next thing. So like I said, Malphite's always a problem just because he's so easy to play and he's so strong. So every time I see a Malphite, I'm worried. Same thing with Malzahar, he's so easy to play that he can be pretty effective even if someone has never really played Malzahar before. So that combination is really strong. Yeah, if you're just like, if you get autofilled or something, definitely play Malphite. Or Malzahar. Oh gosh. So he doesn't have all, we know that. Okay, so yeah. We watched him ult Jax a few minutes ago, and the cooldown isn't terribly long, but it's not 30 seconds long, so. We're gonna need all the help we can get to finish this off, I think. Actually, just gonna flash out of there. Okay. That was pretty unfortunate for us. Things I could have done better there is definitely dodge the Thresh abilities, because if I was able to use my full abilities there earlier, that would have resulted a lot better. Instead I had to wait to use my ult, and I did get a few cuts from it, but it wasn't the ones I wanted. I wanted to focus that Kayn a little better, but I was just stunned too long to actually do that. So I might be able to get mid turret here in retaliation. I'm gonna make Malphite ult away from us. Okay, never mind. Thresh was there. Ooh. So again, I'm kind of with this Jarvan. Like, I'm gonna shadow him for a little while just because I think he's our best chance at winning this game. We've kind of thrown a little bit. It doesn't really feel like it yet, but just knowing how this game shifts so easily, they're definitely almost in the driver's seat at this point. I wouldn't say like totally yet, but they've definitely made a really sizable comeback. Yeah, that was. Yeah, this Kayn's he's a problem. Hopefully, maybe be able to burst him down here. Yep. They can keep going. That's a good TP, but Malphite's stronger, remember? So this TP isn't looking super great now. They've got to spread out really well. They're not grouping. That's great. Yeah, so Malphite definitely. Well, he might have ult here. I guess not definitely. So my team did a very good job of spacing out. Yeah. It's a good find on the back. So I'm coming in. This fight's been so long that I've actually respawned and I'm back. So I might be able to ult somebody. Start prepping this dragon. Be able to snag Lucian. Okay, so there I knew that's not where he was going to be. I was trying to predict which way he would dash. It didn't work out there, but he was very clearly holding that dash for me, so it's always good to at least try to give him something. An angle he didn't expect. I'm going to pink ward here. Try to get this Thresh first, maybe. Oh, we have to respond to this team. So this is not the most favorable trade for us. Wow, they like focusing me. So yeah, we're pretty much 4v5 this game with how this Jax is right now. Not against the player, just he's pretty behind. So again, our win condition at this point is getting a pick. Or riding it out till Soul. I think Soul could really turn this game, and I think first Baron's really going to decide this game too. I don't think they're going for it yet, which they probably could have. So one thing I've noticed is they're focusing a lot of CC on me, whether that's intentional or I'm just mispositioning, I don't know. So maybe I need to let my team engage first and kind of follow up with them, because again, you know, Pyke's not a tanky character, right? Gosh, I wish AD carries would let me use my stacks. I don't know why they're so against that. I'm gonna go help him. Yeah, I don't really know how that's not executing. That's the same thing that happened earlier. Azir just needs to auto this guy. No worries. We still got this game. So I did pick up on Umbral Glaive. One of the best ways back into this game is dropping some vision and clearing their vision, which is, if you've been watching the streams the last few days, one of my weaknesses is clearing enemy vision. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Umbral Glaive will definitely help you do that. But yeah, I'm not sure why my R didn't execute there. Thrush was, or Malzahar was in the red half of that fight, and it didn't hit him. But it was, my X was right on top of him, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. That happened earlier on Thrush too. Guess I can check the logs for notes or bugs or anything like that. Thank you. So they're all bot side. If we were a little more in position, we could have rushed Baron there. Just a little sneaking of Baron, but I don't think we were quite strong enough to do it yet. So this Malphite's actually dying pretty easily, which I'm surprised about because he has full tank. Yeah, but then he can turn around and do that too. Wow.
Enemy double kill.
Guess this is not looking great. Looks like we're just gonna trade mid tower for Baron here. I mean, it's something, right? I always talk about with my teams that what do we get for that? So I say that a lot, and it basically means even when something goes wrong like that, what do we get in return for it? So they're all focusing on Baron, right? So we can at least take that mid turret for a little bit of like revenge gold. And we can also get wards down around this dragon because we know that they are basing and on the opposite side of the map. So that's kind of what we get for that. It's not a lot, and yeah, it's not as good as Baron, but we got to make sure that we are utilizing something, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm really trying to make something happen. So right now, they win a 5v5, so I was really trying to make a play happen before we got there, so we could get that Dragon Soul. But Vayne's doing a good job of doing what I just talked about, and getting something when we have nothing, basically. Okay, we can still get soul. I mean, just because they got that dragon doesn't mean there won't be another one, right? So we can still get that. We just gotta wait out this Baron right now. This Malphite is just huge. What is... Holy crap, he's big. What? Not like strong, just his model. Just seeing if I can get anything there. I was obviously warded, so was he, so... yeah. We just gotta wait out this Baron. It's really our only chance right now. We need this Jax to come online. Yeah. I messed up. What? That was a crazy hitbox. That was a good play by Jax there. Ooh! Great play by Azir and Jax. That Thresh hook hit me from very far away. But I've definitely hit cheesy hooks before too, so I can't complain too much. Okay, so let's talk about the stream title again. What's our win condition here? At this point, it has shifted back to Vayne. Jarvan has kind of fallen off. He doesn't really have a lead as much as I would like anymore. So he's just kind of hanging. He's just going to be our like burst damage, basically. We have a lot of sustained damage from Azir and Vayne, so it's really just keeping those two alive. And hopefully I can finish off with all. I need to position a little bit better here. I'm being really aggressive still because of how laning phase went, but I need to kind of realign my mental and know that it's not laning phase anymore and I don't really have a lead. So I'm going to try to get down there and help him. Looks like he might just die. We might be able to get this guy though. We should be able to, right? Just gonna quick slow. I'm gonna save my ult here in case he flashes out, so I can follow him. That play is good for us. That's a shutdown for us, and a flash, and a Malphite ult, and they don't really get anything around the map. If they were taking our top inhib off that, you know, that's a great play, but we didn't. They didn't get anything for his death there. Now they're gonna get Jarvan though. So I was just trying to help him out a little bit there, secure his escape. I probably should have just left it alone, but Jax is up and Malphite is not. So we should be able to win this fight. There we go. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. Me for their best member of their team. I'm just going to remind my team that Malphite's up and that we should probably just not chase this anymore. Yeah. Jax is playing like he has a lead, and he's probably the weakest member on the map right now. Besides like Thresh and me. I just can't really even do that. So I'm going to try to get there and execute that Malzahar. So then we can make something happen. Yeah, he's going to base. I'm not even going to waste my ult. Vayne had that. Okay, so now both of the objectives are up right now. I would obviously say to go to Baron because it's more important, but in this case we have 4th soul. So I'm just going to help with this. I'm thinking about flashing out of the pit. and then just ulting back in when it's the time to. I'm gonna stay invis till I can ult. Just gonna flash away. There we go. So if Vayne was still alive, we just rushed Baron here, but she is not. I don't know if Azir has the damage for this. He's good at Barons, but yeah. Hey, it's going pretty fast. Who's up from their team? It's just Malzahar. Alright, prove me wrong. Azir has tons of Baron damage. So as you can see, I'm rushing a Guardian Angel here just because I've been mispositioning a lot. And obviously Guardian Angel kind of gives you that second chance at playing a little smarter. Especially with our team, there's not a lot of engage besides me and Jarvan, so I kind of have to go in first. Or second after Jarvan, I guess. Might be able to pick this Lucian, but I think he saw me coming. So the game kind of swung back to us, right? We have this Infernal Soul, which is, in my opinion, probably the best soul in the game. So, man, I still don't know if I want to fight this, though. Jax is still really weak. I'm just gonna slow him because I don't want to pull him towards Vayne. I missed my Q there. I thought I was in just tap range, but I was not. So my ult's up for another few seconds. I'm gonna just try to get in there, see if I can do anything. Nope, he dashed over. Yeah. I'm gonna encourage them just to go for that. Looks like Jax is split pushing, as Jax tends to do. Good play by Azir there. It's a good idea by Jax to just stay home and keep split pushing, keep his head down and do that no matter what the fight was. Yeah. So consider this my warm-up game. I don't know if I necessarily deserve that win, but let's go over the charts and see how I did. Give it to Jarvan. Yeah, so let's check out Vision Score. Rewards placed, I guess. Okay, so I have the best Vision Score on my team again, which is, you know, I should be. I'm not saying that's good. You know, support should have the best Vision Score. But not by a lot. These two did very well. Actually, everyone on our team did pretty well. Let's check out wards placed. So again, I think what we're seeing is I place about the same as the support who is ahead for most of the game. The problem is this category. Let's check that out. You know, I had 2 wards destroyed that entire game. I had Umbral and I had Sweeper. So I think I just need to think about that more when I'm playing. You know, Thresh only had 5, but that's still, you know, 3 more wards, 3 more picks that are waiting to happen. And then control wards were fine. Control wards is a bit of a skewed stat because yes, it's good to buy as many as you can, but if you have a really good one that no one clears, you know, you're not going to keep buying them. So, but that's good. Okay, so overall, you know, we got the victory. I will probably go over that VOD at the end because that is not my normal Pyke play. We're going to play a few more, but I will be right back. All right, we are back. So that game, I think was a good example of what I like to call an autopilot game. I was not really, so I identified my win conditions, right? But I didn't necessarily play to them. And I think that's a good example to watch compared to hopefully this game. Is I identified my win conditions at the right time. I knew. Oh, they banned Morgana. I wanted to play her. Bummer. Let's play Rakan. So I knew my win conditions that entire game. I knew that, in the early game it was Vayne, in the mid game it was Jarvan, and in the extreme late game it was just Vayne and Azir. But I didn't necessarily like play for them. I never really peeled that game, which is difficult to do on Pyke, but not impossible. So yeah, that's just a game, and the difference between knowing your win condition and actually acting upon it. So this game I am going to fix that. Ban Graves right now. If you don't know, just because Phase Rush, Death Dance, Phantom Dancer is like a really strong combo on him. Kassadin's another great ban right now. He's so strong. Even like, people always say like late game Kassadin is strong, but even once he hits level 6, even before 6 now, he's pretty good. New Fiddlesticks is strong. I see a lot of Morgana bans, I'm assuming just because of the Black Shield. But overall, I don't really mind her that much playing against her. She's strong, don't get me wrong, I like to play her too, but this might be a Blitzcrank game. So yeah, again, I'll say this again, I talk about it in most champ selects, but I only allow myself when I'm really seriously trying to climb on an account to play like 5 to 8 champions. Even 8 is quite a bit. I normally don't play Zyra, she's very situational, and I normally don't play Pyke, he's pretty situational. So everybody else on here is like my main group of champions that I allow myself to play. This game looks like a Nautilus support, right? So Rakan or Blitzcrank could both be really good here. I'm actually going to leave it up to my team. See if they say anything. Thrash? Dude, I don't want to play Thrash. Okay, I'll play Blitz though. Selecting your skin, a very important decision. Ooh, Draven. This skin kind of has like a visual bug where his hook actually goes shorter than it, or longer than it looks. So that skin kind of gives you an advantage. I always feel bad using it, but I might use it. It's pretty cool too. Oh, Xayah, they switched off. That's a bummer. Okay, that's fine. I can blow her ult with a 10-second cooldown of my Q, so that's actually not bad. Oh, I didn't switch you all over. Alright, let's talk about initial things about this game. So, Blitzcrank Nautilus is an interesting lane, obviously, because they both hook each other to each other. Oh, this Nautilus is a smurf. So anyways, they both hook each other to each other, right? So what you want to do in lanes like that is you want to be the second person to hook, if that makes sense. So you actually want to get hooked first. So then you can actually step back a few paces and then hook him. The only problem with that is obviously you kind of have to be equal in lane, or else if he hooks first, you will lose. But as long as you're even, you want to be the second person to toss your hook out. So this is a big Ahri main. I don't, and again, if this is your first stream, I don't op.gg or like look up my teammates. Honestly, just not to really tilt myself, because if they have like a really, 1,000 game Smurf on their team, or I'm sorry, like a challenger Smurf on their team, like I don't really want to know about it. I'd rather just play the game. But I do look, I do flip their cards and see how much mastery they have on a champion, as I feel like that's very indicative of performance. I am not the best. I am not as good on Zyra as I am Morgana, because I don't play Zyra as much.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
We're gonna try this.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I'm honestly fine to try it. I don't think they're that much stronger than us. Jarvan has an E at level 1. Oh, I missed. So I'm just gonna toss the ignite, hopefully get that kill. She used her heal.
Minions have spawned.
Okay, so that's a flash heal for my ignite. Yeah, we'll still take it. We'll still take it. I don't really lose anything for doing that either. I know it's warded, but... Oh, now I do, because she pushed the wave. That sucks. That's okay. Still be 2 first, because we didn't have to leash. So usually if my AD carry gets hooked level 1, I'd be out of there. But I knew Zai didn't have some, so we would pretty much win that no matter what. I would not be surprised if Jarvan did a level 3 bot side clear and then came and ganked though, so I'm going to ward pretty early. Especially because he now hates Blitzcrank. So yeah, like I said, I missed out on a lot of minions, so I'm going to be a little late to this party. In fact, they should probably hit before me. Oh, no, they won't. Yeah, they did. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to get hooked first, because I don't really want to throw my hook out at a Nautilus. Yeah. Yeah, this guy's a smurf. Or else he's really lucky to be playing in flat at level 30. So. Again, I don't really like knowing that information, because I've seen, it really depends. Like, if you're like a Diamond 3 smurf in a Plat 2 game, that's not the hugest difference, right? I'm just gonna keep autoing. She has heal. We have to win. Okay. I'm really shocked we lost that. Yeah, I guess Shyvana can't really close that gap. That's not really her fault. Boots mana on first back unless you can get straight Mobies, which I could not have. So yeah. Top's gonna be hard to win for this Jax. He's doing well with it so far, but it's such a telegraph stun, obviously. Ooh, they're getting counter ganked. Don't like this. Yeah, Shyvana, what are you doing, man? No worries. She just had a different thought than everybody else. It's alright. That happens. People have different understandings of their power spikes and areas like that. No big deal. No big deal. Especially if she's AP Shyvana. It's not a big deal at all. Let's see what she's built. Yeah, darn. Doesn't look like it. This would be a good game for AP Shiv. Looks like they're gonna have the better team fight, so. Yeah. Decent little counter gank there. I'm gonna roam up late, just in case I can do anything, but. So that Nautilus roam there, it was, I know this isn't the roam stream, but if you want to hear more about that, you can check out our VODs, but that was a pretty good Nautilus roam. It was a good time for it, it just didn't work out. Yeah, so Shyvana players, this is a pretty good call of pre-6 Dragon. Shyvana does so much dragon, or yeah, dragon damage with her passive. She doesn't even really need Smite here. Cool. She does need to be careful right now, though. So I'm gonna wait till I hit 6. 6 is actually a pretty huge power spike for Blitzcrank, as it is, you know, pretty much every champion. But for Blitzcrank in particular, people really underestimate the damage his ult does. It's 250 magic damage at rank 1. Yeah. It's a rough time to invade. They had lane priority, so we couldn't really do much. A really good time to invade would have been instead of doing that dragon, but then they know we're bot side, so invading after that is pretty telegraphed. And she's going, yeah. It's going to be rough against their team comp and AD Shyvana. She's not going to be able to close the distance. They're all very mobile. Or fast, even like that Fiora, you know, she can Q away every 5 seconds. Vladimir can pool out. It's gonna be a hard game for her. I did pick up my Mobies though, so I can roam now. I'm gonna run high just so we don't get picked here. That was a decent time to invade. Yeah, we knew their jungle was resetting, so. So that was my fault. I didn't know Nautilus was there. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't know Nautilus was in that bush, or else I would have not run up like that. It was a good job by Misfortune to get the kill on the back end. She's not going to get much more than a plate off of that, though. She is pretty far ahead now, though. We need to definitely focus her in these team fights coming up. Again, the good thing is I can blow her, you know, highest cooldown ability for the click of my Q. TP. So, what I did there, and Blitzcrank players, this is a really surefire way to get tricky champions like Vladimir and Fizz. You can walk down and just use your W to catch up to them, as you do normally. And then you're actually going to use your R as soon as you're in range because you get that silence. So Vlad couldn't pool there, and then I pulled him in and Ari did the rest. So as long as you can hit that silence before they can hit their escape ability, they can't use it obviously, and you can just kind of close that kill. A lot of people don't know the range of Blitzcrank R. I recommend you go into Practice Tool and figure that out so you can make plays like that happen. Without that, it's pretty easy to get away from Blitzcrank, right? It's pretty telegraphed what Blitzcrank wants to do. So our team's coming up. I'm just gonna walk out and let them finish that. Unless I can't get away. Oh no. That's good job top by Jax there. That was a pretty messy fight for us. So I didn't really see what happened because I was busy running away from that Xayah. I don't know what happened to not close those kills a little faster. The reason I left there is to not be greedy. I didn't want to. Those assists to me aren't worth giving the enemy a kill. It didn't really work out there because I'm not really sure why we couldn't close those kills faster. I didn't see what happened, so. But I'm sure, you know, they played that well, the enemy team, to get away from our team for that long. And it's hard to catch people on Shyvana, so. I'm gonna ward off Jarvan here. Silence him. Oh man. Just gonna rock out of there. Help her out. It's kind of a warding hook. In case they flashed forward into that. I knew they couldn't kill her without flashing, so I was trying to predict where they would flash instead of actually hooking towards them. Because even if I do that, then Ari probably dies there. If I hook Xayah, she gets 1 auto off and kills Ahri. I probably get that kill, but a Blitzcrank kill isn't worth as much as it would be on this already huge Xayah. Could have got the shutdown though, but regardless. So Miss Fortune's probably going to ult this wave, so I'm actually just going to go in immediately and kind of do that for her. And then I'm going to miss that. Yeah, so at that point, our only option really was to Miss Fortune ult that wave or lose the turret. So I knew she wanted to do that, so I just led the charge and hopefully got a pick. Nautilus kind of did it for us. He made a mistake there. And we were able to kind of capitalize off that. I'm going to go get this awesome item that I started buying recently. It's not a secret to anybody but me, but I don't know why I've never really bought Zeke's Convergence, but it is so good on Blitzcrank. Especially with how fast your ult comes up and how, like, your ult's not very high priority, so you can spam it as much as you want, pretty much. It has a pretty low cooldown, so you can actually use Zeke's, like, on cooldown for Zeke's every time. Yeah, 45-second cooldown, and your ult's on a 45-second cooldown, so you pretty much get 100% synergy there. They might actually just win that.
An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
We can't 2v2 anymore. We haven't been able to for a while. The only reason we're doing that is because Nautilus is kind of misplaying. I'm gonna lead with my silence. I'm gonna knock him up, and I'm gonna kite out for my team. Just gonna throw Ignite on Xayah to ensure this. And then look at that Zeke's. That's what I'm saying about Zeke's. It's a really good way for high cooldown supports like Blitzcrank to be effective even when your cooldowns are not up. So right there, you know, I just stayed on Nautilus and continually slowed him with my, what is it called? Frostfire Covenant. It's a cool name. So at this point in the game, I'm not warding as much as I would like because we've been kind of shoved in. My vision score is 8. So I am going to get out and get some vision for our team so we can start getting these picks now that the momentum has kind of swung back into our favor. Jax is doing a really good job in a really hard matchup. So let's talk about win conditions at this point. It's going to be Jax. Jax should be able to run away with this game. As much as I can support him, that's the way to do it. So I'm going to start roaming. I'm going to start leaving Miss Fortune to deal with those two on her own. She's just got to play back. And then Ahri's pretty strong as well, so I'm going to hover top mid side right now. Next objective that I would like to fight for is this Rift Herald. If we get that dragon, fine, but... okay, never mind. Rift Herald is gone. Silence him just so he can't get away. That's a good use of ult there on Ahri. We're going to try to re-engage this, I have a feeling. Oops, that's not who I wanted to pull. But we'll probably get him anyways. Nice. Wow, that root. So I'm going to walk up and just see what I can do. I'm just going to flash for it, make sure we get that. So the reason I flashed for that, it kind of seems like the fight's already over, but I really wanted to secure this dragon after because it is our third dragon. And third dragon is a really powerful spot to be in the game. And at this point, now both of their carries aren't up for this dragon, we should be able to get it for free. I'm going to use ult here just to empower my AD carry's auto attacks, not that I really needed to ult it. Next thing I get is Knight's Vow. I don't really get that for the healing reduction, or the damage reduction to my AD carry. I actually get it for myself. I like to have that extra, like, what is it, 12% armor when I'm near them. Oh, it's 20 additional armor and 15 movement speed towards them. Yeah, that's pretty good for me. Especially if I'm moving towards the fight. As Blitzcrank, you get that extra movement speed on. It's really helpful. Okay, we're gonna let that one fall, and then we need to defend this next one. Just gonna hook Nautilus in there a little bit. Jax actually died somehow. Did he die 1v1? He did. Okay. Looks like we're gonna try Baron here. I don't hate the call. And it's not warded, but we probably should have had Jax come with us if we wanted to do that. Does he have teleport? No. Might still get it. So I need to come down here and I need to cut that off. Yeah, I don't really like the call. Shyvana, she does a lot of damage to objectives, right? But it's just dragons on her passive, not barons, I believe. So, yeah, so she actually doesn't do any extra damage to that baron. So that might have been her mistake there, to not realize that what her passive stated. See if she can do anything. I would just ult in here, try my best on that. She should have tried something, you know, so I don't mind that play. Jack's got 2 turrets, that's pretty good. Again, it's kind of one of those, what do you get out of this situation? Where we made a really bad call that might be costly, but Jax kind of saved it a little bit by getting those 2 turrets. It doesn't pull it all the way back, but it definitely helps the gold kind of swing back into our favor and stay in our favor a little bit. Again, it's not as good as a Baron. Nobody's claiming that, but it's better than nothing, right? This is a bad play by me. I thought we could kill her faster, but in reality, I don't have the burst for it, obviously. I'm only Blitzcrank. Doesn't cost us that much. We're gonna lose this tower regardless, so. That's a good kill. See if they can live through that. So now we're actually up 1 when I spawn here. I remember, I'm much closer than they are. Than their member. Doesn't look like we're gonna win there though. This Nautilus is not a support player. So Shyvana's gonna be up for that dragon, which is nice. I'm just passively gonna shove that out, a little slow push, and then I'm gonna start coming down towards dragon. That's a kill? I'll take that. Next thing I want to get, I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna get Righteous Glory here. Shirley is more fun, but Righteous Glory is really good for Blitzcrank in particular. You get that extra mana, that extra armor. I don't really need AP on Blitzcrank. Ooh, that was a lot of damage. I'm gonna walk in here like I own the place and see what I can get. I'm just gonna keep zoning. Okay, so what I did there again is I silenced that Vlad before he could pool. Everyone hates Vlad because he pools, not because of his other abilities necessarily. It's really just because of that annoying pool and his survivability with that pool. So I silenced him and then I hooked him in before he could pool. So we bursted him so fast, and I ignited him so he doesn't get that lifesteal even if he lives through me. Keep forgetting to Knight Misfortune. And you can see how fast my ult was up. I used it twice in that fight. Like, I used it on the dragon when we were doing, and I used it on the Vlad. So you can just spam that your ult as soon as you get it on Blitzcrank, and you might have it up by the end of the fight, depending on how long your fights are. I'm gonna try to do it to this Vlad again. He's up too far. It's another really simple tip you can use on Blitzcrank. Again, it's super simple, but I want to give tips to all skill levels. Is when you're running at someone on Blitzcrank, you can position your body in a way where you are facing one person and then you just hook the other way. I know it's super basic, but I promise you people don't really pay attention for it. I'm actually gonna base here, full up on my mana so I can be useful in a fight. We do have Cloud Soul now, so I'm going to be using my ult even faster on cooldown. We need to base here, everybody. Okay, so now everyone's off the map. Oh, I need backup. That could have been bad. I have flash up, so I'm going to look to make a play on someone who I know doesn't have flash. Unfortunately, I have lost track of summoner spells at the moment, so I'm going to wait till we see one burned, and then I'm going to flash at them. This is too bad. Okay. Oh, that went well somehow. I don't even know what happened that fight. I'm not going to try to dissect that fight. That was lucky one. Lucky one. So I'm going to just walk up and help him. I have my ult back. Try to get that silence, clear the wave, and I'm going to hook. Another really useful thing for Blitzcrank ult is it is typically enough damage at the second rank, at rank 2, to be able to clear a minion wave at most points in the game. So you can actually use that to just clear that and make sure you can get a clean hook and not hit a minion. Ward in the base, get some wards down. I'm going to encourage us to leave now. So right now the pink ward spot is actually more valuable than Righteous Glory. So that's really good ult, just to kind of persuade them to not do this Baron, honestly. Yeah, we just win though. I just flashed him for fun there. Good job. So the real keys to this game were honestly Jack stomping that solo lane. Shyvana didn't really do much. In fact, she kind of got us behind a little bit. It's not really her fault. We just had some miscommunications. Ahri played really well, and we did not. So our solo lanes just kind of ran away with that one. This guy's saying damage graph. Ooh, yeah, I did more damage than their Jarvan. I did as much as their Vlad. So I did a lot. Alright, let's check out the stats again. I'm gonna tell you now, I was low in vision score this game. So I had the highest on my team out of 32, which is higher than their support, which is nothing to brag about because that guy did not play support, and we kind of know that just based on his positioning and things. Their Jarvan did very well in vision score. Let's see if he cleared or placed. So I placed 18, not as high as I'd like. It looks good compared to everybody else, but it's still not really a lot. I think at like 20 minutes I had an, well, how long did this game go? Yeah, like 20 minutes I had an 8 vision score. That's pretty bad. What did I end with? 32, yeah. Wards destroyed again. I'm only at 2. I don't know. Control wards, yeah. Yeah, Jarvan has very good vision control. He just didn't do a lot around the map. So overall, this whole lane's kind of ran away with that game. And Misfortune got fed through team fights. We had a much better team fight than them, just based on our team. I take kind of back what I said. I forget how effective Ari is in team fights too. So she kited really well. She played that very smoothly. I didn't do much. I had a few good hooks, and then I did make really good use of Zeke's this game. You really got to hang with whoever you're trying to focus down when you have Zeke's up because of that AoE slow. I'm gonna play one more. I'm gonna give it a break for a few minutes, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're going to do one more game here. Between every game, I like to get up and stretch and move around a little bit. It helps me reset a little bit. It kind of puts like distinction between each game instead of just playing like 15 in a row, and you can't even tell which game is which by the end of the day. So I like to kind of stretch. So these were all off-screen games, so I did lose a bunch today, and yesterday night, but we won this first Pyke game in recap, mainly due to our team getting really late game against theirs, who was not very late game. So that was really good. I had a rough game this one. I played pretty well this game. We had our solo lanes get ahead and recap. We'll probably go over that a little bit. But until then, just hanging out. If you guys have any questions about support or any role, even though today is mainly support, just let me know. Happy to answer whatever I can. Sorry about that. I sent a message. I'm gonna ban. Oh, I can't ban Graves. I'm gonna ban Master Yi. Hoping to maybe play Morgana this game, depending on, I guess, their one pick I get to see. When I first picked up, pick me Graves. Okay, I'm actually gonna pick him Graves, not because I want to hide my support pick, just because I don't want to play against Graves. Apparently I have a few Grave skins. Back when he was an 80, oh, I have a lot. Back when he was an 80 carry, I played a lot of Graves. I know that's like, I'm a total boomer for saying that, but yeah, he used to be a really fun champion. Now I can't really stand him. This skin was what all the Graves players used to use back in the day, because with his old animations, this one was actually a little smoother than the rest. For whatever reason. So I remember like everyone, all 80 carry mains, like LCS 80 carries, used to main and play Graves with this skin. I'm gonna play Morg here. It's not really good against their team. I just kind of want to get a Morgana game in. It's not bad against their team. They're not extremely mobile. They're pretty mobile, but not overly so. They're mobile, but most of them only have one ability that is mobility, and I don't mind that kind of mobility. Also, when I get up and stretch, I like to stay hydrated. I know it's a video game, but you still gotta take care of yourself when you're playing. Looks like Nidalee's smurfing. Or she's really good. The reason I say people like that are smurfing is it's gotta be pretty rare for someone to be in high platinum at level 42. So yeah. Yeah, so that's probably not gonna save him, but I might as well throw that out there. Ooh, that phase rush might save him though. I think Italy and Karma Flash there. So we can take out Karma pretty easily. She doesn't have exhaust though, so.
Minions have spawned.
So let's see what we can do this game. Misfortune's gonna do a really smart thing and go ward that. In high elo and team games, that is super beneficial for solo queue. I talked about this last stream, not so much. We're not really going to make use of that, but it's still a good habit to get into in case she gets into really high elos, right? So this lane is, it's gonna be, it's not like a hard, they don't really have a lot of kill potential on us, especially once I get Black Shield here in a second, but It's just an annoying lane. Can't really do much to him unless I hit like a crazy lockdown at level 6 and Miss Fortune just ults them, because that Karma Shield is really strong when she ults. And obviously Ezreal's notorious for his long jump that gets away from everybody. One thing I will say, this isn't really a self-improvement thing like the theme of this stream is, but there's just something about Eternals. They're pretty satisfying to get. Like the milestone on 50 Qs. It's pretty fun to get, not gonna lie. I'm gonna take E here just so there's literally no way they can kill us. Yeah. The only time we die is if we get Karma E'd. I don't mind taking that poke, it's fine. Good old Morgana hitbox, right? I'm gonna push up here and take a bunch of poke for no reason. Alright, let's talk win condition this game. Camille's already 2-0. It's 4 minutes. She is our win condition at this point in the game. She's our win condition at this point of the game. So Graves should be focusing on her. There's not a lot I can do because unfortunately it is my top laner who's the win condition, and that's the only role I can't really influence, right? So I remember that. Oh, I'll review that in a sec. Ooh, good play by Ezreal. Good play, Ezreal. Good play. We should be able to dodge this. I mean, we're 2 fast champions. Okay. Oh, that's not what I want to build at all. So Camille's running away with the game. If I was Graves, I wouldn't have even tried this gank. It was my fault I died. Not saying it's his, but I would just sit top lane and make sure that Camille wins this game for us. She's already 3-0 at 5 minutes. Yeah, it's a great lane to camp. I wouldn't touch mid lane at all. Kennen just traditionally not the best champion, especially when he starts call. In bot lane we can win on our own probably by just out farming. So if I was him, I would just be top lane. At level 6 maybe I'll try to do something once I know Miss Fortune is safe on her own, but right now she could die if she gets rooted. That's the only way this lane loses. So last fight I flash queued the Karma as soon as she was blinded because I knew she didn't have flash from that level 1 invade weird thing that happened, and I knew that she couldn't dodge like my Q that takes up a quarter of the lane when she's blinded. So it's just we overlapped those abilities really nicely and we made use of each other's CCs. Apparently Kennen is a good champion. Let's get my 15 gold. Ooh, what happened there? I don't know how you lose that. Wow. They must have very severely misplayed that. Okay, just like that our win condition shifts a little bit, right? I know it was a tower dive, but Kennen still did really well there. He's 2-0. And now Graves needs to be focusing there. And that actually opens up the map for me as well, because I can gank mid a lot easier than I can top lane. So I'm going to be working on that once I get boots here. 2 boots. Graves might just try to camp bot, but I'm telling you now, we're not going to get a whole lot out of it. We might pick up the occasional kill, but I just don't know if it's actually going to matter that much. Especially with Nidalee always here. Yeah, this is a bad idea, guys. Apparently not. Apparently it's a great idea. He should gank us all the time. I'm just gonna throw the ignite on him and confirm that kill. Yeah, that was kind of weird. I don't really know what happened there. I think Graves is just kind of busted, so we won that. Didn't really look like we would, but I'm gonna get an arm guard, even though it's not my favorite item to start on support. But gotta get that Zonius to make my ult worthwhile. I am coming up on level 6 really quick here. That's another kill. I'm gonna mute this just for y'all. This kid is home from middle school and he's all fired up. Another really easy tip I have for you is to bind your level up abilities. If you level up mid-fight, you always want to get that extra boost. So it's always good to have those bound. I can't tell you how much I improved when I started doing that, and I know it's not a huge thing, but when I first started that, it was night and day. You know, you level up an ability 18 times in the game, 17 of which are in like normally in lane or like a high pressure situation or something like that. And if you can just nonchalantly click Control Q and level up that Q instead of having to you know, move your mouse from, like, let's say here on the map, like you gotta move it down here just to level up your ult and then move back to what you want to be fighting. Especially if you're a low sensitivity player, that takes forever. So it's really important to have that bound. I improved tremendously. I'm not a low sense player, but I still improved tremendously with that. I'm a very high sense player, actually. Probably too much so. It's not a brag at all. It's just something I got used to, and now I do it a little too much. It's really hard in Overwatch, I will say that. That's why I don't play hit scan. I'm just gonna let Graves solo that, so I don't blow his cover here. Just trade with Karma there. Another thing, it's important to get your, your gold quest done and get that poke in, but you don't want to push the wave, so always put it like where I did, like right there. And you'll still get that 15 gold and you'll get that warding quest done, but then you won't have to push the wave and ruin it for your AD carry. So I'm gonna look for a fight here because I have stopwatch ult. I'm just gonna go in because this lane's really boring. Oh man. So they wasted a lot on me, so I'm gonna let Misfortune trade on the back end of that. That was a really good trade by her to figure that out. A lot of AD carries that aren't in higher elos, I guess, or middle elo, kind of like this account, will just sit there and watch you take that damage, but Misfortune seems to be pretty good, and she made a great play to kind of counteract that poke I was taking. So I'm just gonna flash. I didn't really want to, but So I was showboating a little bit there, right? Normally you want to move with your ult on Morgana. Make sure you stay in that range. I was just kind of showboating, I guess. Might be able to take a plate here with Camille. We'll see. Ow. I'm just gonna give her shield with my mana. I like Knight. Let's get this easy kill. I don't know if I can afford Zhonya's quite yet. Nope, that's okay. I'm gonna get Codex. Lots of AP for a 900 gold item, and a lot of cooldown reduction, which is really important on Morgana early. Not so much late game, just because you're only really gonna need 1 or 2 Qs a fight. But early, you know, you want to have that up as soon as your enemy has their poking ability up too, so you can catch them if they come up to poke too far. She might wait for me. Let's see. I don't think she wins that 1v1, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, wow. Holy cats, yeah, she does. Oh, I didn't see Graves. My bad. Yeah, I know Morgana's shield only shields magic damage, but also has that summon Aerie, so... And that Aerie would have procced there to give him that shield. But that's okay. I'll get him next time. And try to get a plate here, 1 free plate, maybe go for a second. And remember, auto-attacking towers gives you that support quest gold as well, so you always want to make sure you're doing that if you need to generate more gold still. I don't really know the cooldown on it though. Oh, it's right here. It's pretty quick too. So at this point in the game, I want to be pushed in the entire time. I think that with a good Misfortune ult, we can, well, when we're full health at least, we can 3v1 their jungler. So I'm just going to start W in waves. And holding my Qs a little bit better. If I hit a Q, even with our health like this, Misfortune is far enough back, we'll win it. Unless she's basing here. I do have Zhonya's, I wouldn't mind basing with her. It's 2v1. Maybe. Yeah. So like I said, Camille's still our win condition. Graves is up there helping her, I guess, and Kennen's doing really well as well. Making those roams to help her out. Another win condition. We started drags pretty late, never mind. I was gonna say drags are another really easy win condition that people all know about at this point in the game. Let's see what I can do here first. Okay, so I got the flash out of her for no sums except for my Ignite, which I've talked about many times at this point. I'm always down to trade Ignite for any other summoner spell. You don't need Ignite to be an effective champion. Some people need Flash to be effective, like a Malphite Flash ult or something like that. So you always want to trade Ignite. Flash is so much more important than Ignite, we all know that. So it's a great thing to trade. W that wave, get some healing back too. Poof. If those of you don't know, the 20% spell vamp is Morgana's passive. I believe it only counts on champions and large minions, so you can do that to like jungle camps and cannons, and it'll give you a little bit of boost. Yeah, this is a pretty good surrender though. All right. There's not a lot to go over this game stat-wise, because honestly, our solo lanes and just kind of ran away with it. That Camille was, like Graves said, her chat was very cringy, but She played very well, so I can't be too mad. Yeah, I'm gonna be right back. I might do one more. I'm gonna go decide real quick, and I'll be back. Alright, so we are going to play one more. Again, I'm going to be playing support this game, like most of my games. And again, I am only going to pick from my favorited category. Brand is apparently in my overall favorites too. Did not know that. Ban that Graves. Sort by favorite. So let's talk about our picks, I guess. LeBlanc is pretty dang strong right now, I would say. I don't really know if she got buffed or something, but she's just been way stronger lately. Kai'Sa is probably one of my least favorite champions in the game. She's one of those champions for me, and I'm sure you all have these too, where she's super weak on your team and super strong on the enemy team. So, yeah, I just don't synergize super well with her, so we're going to have to figure something out this game. So a Nami could be a Blitzcrank. Ooh, they banned it. Okay. This could be another Morgana game or a Rakan game. I'll go Rakan. Just because I haven't played him today. Not because I think he'd be any better than Morgana. Well, he does have those shields and heals, so he can kind of sustain with Nami, but he is a little more engaged. He's like a hybrid tank. Hybrid shield caster. Neither team has any CC, really. Nothing reliable, at least. I mean, yeah, Echo has the stun, but that's honestly more just for a shield. You know, Zoe has that sleep. That's going to be pretty rough. That's probably the most daunting thing in the game. LeBlanc should be able to abuse her in lane, though. So, especially if I roam up and help. And I probably will. You can roam on Rakan a lot easier than, like, other champs I've played today. Well, at least Morgana. Not like Blitzcrank, of course. He's the king roamer, right? But let me switch you guys over. We can check out the screen together. Oops. This guy's name is MSU student. Wonder if it's Michigan State. Alright. Rakan, I take Relic Shield on because I like ability power, but I also really like tank stats, so I take Relic Shield. And it helps me burn those minions and heal up my enemy. Or my AD carry, not my enemy. Don't typically heal your enemy in this game. Another thing I've kind of got in the habit of doing, and I know it's silly, I shouldn't actually have to do this, but I actually hit tab and make sure that all my team's bought items and remind them if they have not. I know that's not my responsibility, but I do it pretty much every game. We could just take this buff. So we're just looking for trouble at this point. Yeah, we can just take this buff. Oh my. Good ignite for the kill. I'm gonna base. So I don't know what it is with me and invades today, but I am missing those those free abilities left and right.
I dance because I'm free.
So again, it's my ignite for top laner's flash. Hopefully that's worth it in pretty much every scenario. I'm gonna go ward that for him and let Kai'Sa get an early level 2. So I'm gonna be super behind in lane, but hopefully we made up for it in jungle and top lane leads. That was risky. Ooh, 1 health.
Why is it taking so long to get back to the action?
Yeah, so we're gonna get bullied really badly for this. Again, that's why I'm saying I hope top and jungle can really pick up that slack because we are in trouble now. At level 2, I'm gonna have that heal, but I'm gonna roam up and help. Just crushing it.
I've been kicked around since I was born.
Okay, Trundle's the win condition this game. The weakest part of Trundle, right, is closing the gap between him and his opponents. So this game as Rakan, I'm gonna look to make up for that. So I'm gonna close the gap for him anytime I can get. Now I can start healing up our AD carry. Gonna remind him I don't have ignite, so he's not expecting that to cancel the heal here. Yeah, that was. Die here.
An ally has been slain.
So that's not great, huh?
I'm offended by how little attention I was given.
3-0 Caitlyn. Yeah, it's just Rakan. I miss a lot of abilities there, and Rakan is not super useful without ignite. posts or pre-6. So I don't know. It's just a weird time. I missed that W. That's really bad. Oh my god. And then it's not gonna work.
Without wild magic, we
I already muted. Okay, good.
have no future.
Has been slain.
Okay, Trundle's still strong. He's picking up these kills at least. Pop or bone plating at least. One good thing poke is for in lanes like this. So I'm actually gonna go. Never mind, I don't have to. I was gonna go Ward Dragon. I don't even have wards. I was gonna go check out Dragon just because Echo might have been soloing it, but it looks like he's on his Wraith, so that's a great ward to let us know that. So at this point, as painful as it is, all we have to do is sit here and let Trundle hopefully influence this game more than Echo. Obviously, it's always fun to win lane. It's always fun to like crush the opponent, but we are the weak lane right now, and we just need to hang on. If he wants to gank, that's cool, but yeah, I don't even think he should. Ezra Khan, just make sure you're getting that heal on the back end while they're focusing your AD carry. That's all you can do at this point. Caitlyn is oppressive.
I don't do safe.
Okay, so again, I kind of had to close that gap for Trundle there, and so I flash W'd, and W can encompass Caitlyn's pretty much her entire area that she can net out of if you do it correctly. And I didn't there, but I got lucky and she didn't react fast enough. So I don't have W here. I'm just gonna walk in and hopefully shield my man here. That's fine too. Wave's in a good spot. Maybe we'll just get this dragon. I might be able to help him with that if he wants to. Yeah, okay. I'm just wasting time. League's all about time too, right? Like I gave up a lot of time there, not backing a few times to try to get a few kills and a few objectives, and we didn't get anything. So actually, I end up pretty out of that. Nami's gonna beat me to lane pretty handily, and so Kai'Sa just gets even more oppressed, which is not good for the gameplay or her mental state right now. League, unfortunately, is sometimes about managing your teammates' mental states.
Doing his job.
Yeah. Another way to play this game, we knew we were going to lose this lane just because Caitlyn's a lot better than Kai'Sa. Not the player, the character. Would have been for me to take the ability power item and actually max Q. That probably would have been smart. But hindsight, so not sure why these aren't melting minions though. Trundle's doing everything he can. Yeah, it's just rough. I think at this point, I roam off of Kai'Sa. She's gonna get mad, but I want to win the game, not the lane, right? So. So I'm gonna run that lane one more time, but we're just gonna kind of concede tower at this point.
See what I'm gonna do.
Again, the whole early thing really helped my team, but hurt our lane in particular. Just because I wasn't there, I've had no pressure at all or level advantage this entire lane. Just because I was zoned out a lot and I was super late. So yeah. But it seems to have helped our team. Trundle's literally making everything happen around the map. I'm going to get my ward quest done here, and I'm just going to start roaming. Yeah, Trundle has 100% KP right now.
It don't take a lot of words to tell the truth.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start roaming and helping this Trundle. He's our win condition, like we're talking about today. And so I'm gonna make that happen to the best of my ability. Kai'Sa is not my win condition at this point in time. She might be later in the game, and we'll figure that out then. But as of right now, Trundle is the strongest. I'm just gonna W out of that. Yeah. Kai'Sa's so incredibly weak right now. It's not her fault either. Just the way the champion works and the way the laning phase kind of went. So in my opinion, I think Trundle just shades topside and mid, and we just give up tower so I can go help him.
I got free. I got a little. I didn't cause die. That's who.
I probably should have just left him, honestly. Just to indicate that I will not be going in to that fight.
Ain't nothing I
So I'm here to help LeBlanc with this. She gets any more burst down. Yeah, so Caitlyn's making the right rotations, and that really stinks. So she might just kind of run away with this game. I don't want her to, of course, but it's a good pick by Trundle. Oh, whoops, I don't have scanner. I'm gonna need ult to do anything to this Caitlyn. So Trundle's in way too deep. Bot lane's on his way out. So I should just try to get there and help him. So he's pretty tanky. He can live for a long time.
time to get it started.
This drag fight's gonna decide a lot. Not the drag itself so much, but the fight around it, if we do have one. Big stun. Now we just leave. I say just walk out of this. And we can re-engage with LeBlanc if we want. Yeah, okay. LeBlanc kind of missed everything. Didn't that time. Okay. I'm just gonna back out because I know Zoe has vision around here and she can pop over walls and destroy me at this health. So we have 2 turrets. We gave 1 turret top for that, so that's not the worst. Yeah, so let's see what we can do. We're gonna roam mid still. Once my ult's back up, then I can do stuff. Until then, I'm not super keen on fighting because a Rakan without his ult is not the best, basically. That was a decent play to help LeBlanc out there, but there's not much we can do about that tower with Demolish proccing. And again, my ult is too far away to make a big play here. We might be able to just get mid here, though, if everyone stayed. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna flash it out, I think. I'm gonna try to help Aatrox as soon as I get my cooldowns. So he got me on the backside. Yeah, that's my fault. I didn't even see her. She just pops over those walls on ya. Looks like Aatrox is pretty strong. Yeah, nice play. It's a great play by LeBlanc and Aatrox. Yeah, so at this point in the game, you know, our 3 other members besides my lane are doing very well. I need to be able to maximize my efficiency in helping them at this point because I am not being the most effective person on the map right now. Me and Kai'Sa are the 2 weakest players on the field right now. So I just need to stick around the stronger people and help them out. So what that means is shading this Trundle, helping him get this. Because it is annoying to get this on your own. Just helping him out with this, getting that done. Taking fights that he wants.
Only as wild as magic.
I'm gonna Shadow Bot, help out Kai'Sa. This looks like an easy pick for us. Gonna charm him and drop Ignite for the kill. Just to confirm that, right? Nami mispositions a little bit. Ooh. Bold, I like it. There we go. Aatrox is making plays. We're in good hands. Oh man. I want to talk about who's not making plays this game though. I'll give you a hint. He's playing Rakan. Close. Now I have Shurelya's, maybe I can help out a little bit more. At the very least, I can give my teammates movement speed to close gaps, like Aatrox and Trundle want to do a lot, and Kai'Sa to get away from the Garen. So I can at least pop that and be helpful if nothing else, and just make sure I am shielding the appropriate targets, and we're good. Like, don't waste shields for movement at this point, because it's not that important that Rakan gets out alive at this point. It is really important that, you know, Aatrox gets that extra bit of shield so he can live through the Garen ults and things like that. Just gonna W out. Actually, I can just sit here. They don't have vision on this. So I gave him Shurelya's there. I was gonna hop to him with a shield, but I'm gonna CC this Nami as the next target because I knew they already had Caitlyn. So we can get a free drag here and we can go bot and mid to get turrets. I'm gonna shield. I'm gonna let them do that actually. Oh, okay, we're just gonna win. Yeah, that's gonna be my last game of the day. So let's go over it. Not super proud of that one either. Gonna be at 98 LP again, just like last stream. I was at 99 LP. So yeah, let's check out gold. Yep. So that's about on par for the performance that game, right? A lot of that came down to the weird invade we did level 1, but there's definitely small positioning errors I made throughout the lane that kind of set us behind as well. But like I said, we got that kill on Garen for my Ignite, and we had no pressure in lane to fight, but it obviously helped Trundle and Aatrox get severely ahead. As Trundle got that extra buff, he 3-buffed his opponent because we warded properly. He got that kill on Echo, he got the kill on Garen, and Aatrox was just benefiting from this passively because Garen was barely in lane. So, and when he was, Aatrox and Trundle together teamed up to kill him. So that was definitely worth it, even if it was kind of a painful game for bot lane in particular. That invade is always going to be worth it as long as your teammates make the most out of it, and they did. So, thanks for tuning in today. I hope you learned a little bit about win conditions, and especially in solo queue, how important win conditions can be when a win condition could just be your Trundle. In solo queue, it's not as important that you have this big scheme of a game like you do in a 5v5 game where you're like, okay, at 6 minutes we're going to go do Rift Herald. At 8 minutes we're going to, get Dragon. It's not as important to have those set timers and plays and rotations that you do. It's really important to know who is strong on your team and who is making the good plays and assist them the best you can. If the win condition is you, then have your teammates help you and only fight when your teammates are in position to help you. Don't throw that win condition away. So I hope you learned a little bit about win conditions. I will be back next Monday streaming from the same channel at the same time. And maybe we'll switch it up and do some AD carry gameplay. Maybe. Depends how high I can get this account by then. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Thank you.